Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Brother.
I fly, bro. That is never stopping.
Truck goes to the blank.
Cool story, bro.
Footy pajamas.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley,
Get him off pig, Freddy.
Get him on big, Richard Mullican.
And as I put you down, my pants ripped.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. A little less live than we were last week, maybe. Are we live? Are we live to tape? Live to tape. I'm Richard Mullican. I'm joined by my co-host, the man whose little baby loves him Cadillac style. He's the 1983 Mr. Dixie Youth Grand Champion and best friend Josh Briley. Say hey, Josh.
I'm still alive. I feel so alive. Yes, all of those alives, we are alive.
Yep.
We are live.
Why
alive.
did you laugh when I said your little baby loves you Cadillac
That
style?
just struck me funny.
Sounds like a weird sex position, don't it? Do it Cadillac style, where it's
My
really
little
expensive and
baby
big.
love me. Cadillac style.
Yeah. Episode 244. We didn't say that last week. We got with it. No foreplay last week. We just dove
We were
right
shitting
in.
and getting, as they say.
Well, we are happy you're here. You've turned us on. Hopefully we'll turn you on in this next hour.
Oh, I believe I
Really?
turn them on.
Really get you all chubbed up.
All chubbed up.
And hopefully
worked
if you're listening to this at work, it won't be an HR issue. So, welcome to the show. As I said before, I'm Richard Mulligan, joined by my co-host and best friend Josh Briley. Say hey, Josh, again for the people in the back that didn't
Hey,
hear
Josh,
you.
again.
Maybe this is the way we ought to talk into a whole show just like this. Just like
NPR here.
Very easy listening, yeah. Where our voice levels never go very high. It's,
I'm going to try to sway the way you
Yeah.
vote.
yeah. Is that what they do? I don't
They
listen
do
to I don't
on
listen to
NPR.
PBR.
PBR.
You called it that once after you'd been drinking.
Same shit.
What is it? PBR?
Same shit.
RPA?
I listen to NPR as much as I watch PBR.
Yeah.
Is that not what the bull riding thing
Yes,
is?
it is.
Good.
I don't know what the bull riding thing is, to be honest. The only time I ever really saw bull
I know what a
riding-
Cody Nance Invitational is.
You do.
I heard it on the radio.
That sounds like a sex thing.
Sounds like something happening at the Omen Arena.
That sounds like somebody that's getting poured
like
baby oil all
Cody
over.
Nance
Hold on.
dished out an invitational.
Hold on. That sounds like a man pouring baby oil all over his body to a duct taped man in a trunk going, you about to get the Cody Nance Invitational right now. That's the Cadillac style.
Yeah. If you can't breathe, beat on the trunk. I'll hear you.
It ain't going to matter. I'm going to do what I'm going to do either way.
Well,
God
might
darn.
work out for the better if you can't breathe.
You
Won't
ain't
resist so much.
You ain't gonna want to be conscious for all this. And I know this looks like a lot of oil. Trust me, you gonna want the oil. It's pretty rough.
Might be better you don't breathe. That way the Lord's with you the whole way through.
Because you're about to go through some.
You're
hell.
going to see him.
I'm about to make you see Jesus. Have you ever been cocky enough to tell a woman that you've bedded?
That I've bedded?
You know,
Is that
one
some-
that you might have
That sounds
lain
like
with.
something you do with livestock. Have you bedded your llamas yet?
Well,
or, your cows?
I know we're here in Turtle Loving Month. We're here in Turtle Loving Month. Don't go there. I'm not saying go out and fuck a turtle. I'm saying
Try it with a snapping.
in Aunt May, Spider-Man, Aunt May, there's going to be the Renaissance Festival coming back up, and those are fun, man.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are.
You with that one you've been to.
It was cool outside. So
You went to a
this year it's
redneck
going to be
one.
hot.
Go to one.
It wasn't a redneck one. It was actually pretty fun. Nobody was speaking with an accent there other than good night, good morrow, and then
Lord have mercy.
I know it. They couldn't talk about the Braves.
Ugh.
Oh God.
I bet they were fucking awful.
You've always been that way. We talked about that, haven't we?
all that bullshit.
Yeah, it's like if something's just a little off center, you're like, that's not cool enough for me. But if it gets too mainstream, you're like, that's too cool. I don't like it. They've changed their ways.
You figured me out. Maybe you could be my co-author for my biography.
I could write your book. Well, for the first 18
I like
years.
tits.
Yeah.
I like shit that's poor.
Whatever it is, he's gonna probably want to fuck it. No, what I was gonna say is, you ever had the courage to really tell a woman you were going to bed?
I've told him to wash that puss up.
No, that was before we were on the show. We were talking about something else. I think you're blending things together.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying, have you ever had the confidence to be like, you about to see God, woman, or something like that?
No, because usually whenever I was in that mindset, I wasn't thinking about what the Lord wanted.
We're living in sin right now. I know this.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret this in the morning.
Roll over. I want to look you in the eye when I do this.
Dude, but
you need me to help you roll over?
You've got me thinking, seriously. I've been in those positions to where,
where that was like, you swear you ain't gonna tell nobody?
Well, no, I'd be like, okay, this should work.
Yeah.
That'd be so hot. Or I would see something on a porn,
and
I'd
try
be
to
like,
say it.
I'd try to emulate it, and I'm just like, look, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. It'll be so hot.
Yeah. Doesn't work out that way.
And whenever you start banging or whatever, you get in your regular stuff.
Yeah. Tell me I'm your brother.
No. Collar, elbow tie up, headlock, take her over,
and then he goes, "I'm your brother."
No, seriously.
I know what you mean.
Get into it and everything's good. It's great. It's like, damn, this is awesome. All right. Hey, now's the time. Let's try that one thing I was talking about.
Now's the time. Like, I've rehearsed this.
Well,
and
no.
It's an off-Broadway. Now's the time. Let's do the number.
Well, look, I would talk about it before because it'd be something we hadn't done, and it might be a little questionable. It's like, well, I don't know if I could bend that way, or
Right.
blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, we'll try it. And then after you get them in the mood and in the act, it's like, okay, let's try it. And then they play stupid. Now, what did you want me to do with my leg?
That's always good when you had to explain it.
Yeah, so you got to stop. And then you're like, well, what you do is you wrap your left leg around my neck.
Shit, we ain't got a footboard.
And
Quit
then
freaking out.
We do this, and that makes my leg hurt. That makes my leg hurt, and all this shit. I'm like, well, damn, Aunt Ethel, I didn't know I was fucking a 70-year-old. How old are you again? God damn.
Oh, that's going to be a sound drop.
And seriously, I've had suggestions like that and thoughts in my head that I've been thinking about all day, and I'm like, I'm gonna execute this tonight. And then when I try it, it's you get that shit. Oh, my leg hurts. Or we talked about this. You had no reservations on it.
Yeah.
You and now you're like, ugh. Like, I've had that ruin sexual experiences to the point to where I'm just like, I gotta hurry this up. I'm done, and then I just leave. Like, has that ever happened to you?
No. I'm usually not too obsessed with the exact way it happens. Just the fact that it's happening is pretty nice, But you're like, we got to do that figure 8 thing I saw in this book.
Is there something wrong with that?
I mean, I think you obsess over it's what it sounds like.
Well,
I think all guys have something built in their mind sometimes, especially if it's like an anniversary weekend.
well, I
or
figure,
something
like
that.
I said, I'm not fucking my grandmother, so a little flexibility wouldn't be a problem. Right? Or am I wrong thinking of that?
I'm gonna say
fucking
anytime
a gas
you're
station
saying
cashier.
I'm gonna say anytime you say fucking and my grandmother in the same sentence, you're wrong in it. I'm just gonna go that route.
So one is foolish to assume flexibility.
Yeah, especially at the age that you like them.
No, I'm talking about even in my younger years, like in my 20s.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
It's just like, I can't do that.
You just got lazy.
Hurts my leg.
You got lazy partners.
I guess. Should have fucked a stripper, I guess, then, right?
Well, I was telling you at Brewfest a couple years back because I hadn't had it in like 2 years because thanks COVID. But at Brewfest, there was this one guy that said all strip clubs, the good ones, smell like baby wipes. It's because strippers use those to wipe down with, to clean up with, to wipe their body and everything, because they don't have showers in some of these places.
So it makes it smell like what a lot of the guys are trying to escape, the baby dome.
Right.
They're like, damn, I done knocked this bitch up 3 times in a row. All my house smelled like baby wipes.
Right. Could you imagine that being, for you, that would be a major turnoff. You get that, like, it smells like baby wipes in here.
Smells like my house.
Yeah, how am I supposed to get a boner with this? I'm going to do it real quick and leave. Where's the bathroom?
I had a straight baby wipe smelling house from like 2003 until like 2012.
Oh, wow.
So many babies in a row. It was bad.
Wasn't your, like...
03, 07. So they were all babies the whole time. Little kids.
Why were you using wipes at 5?
Well,
Just to clean up faces and stuff, maybe?
Well, yeah. I mean, because, by the time Ava was born, Jason was still not even
I love
4
how
years
you
old.
throw out real names.
Well, they're not my real kids, are they?
Well, no, you can't deny them kids.
Exactly.
They look like you.
So is that a problem? You say Penny all day long. I say my name.
No.
Kid's name.
I don't. Well, I said happy birthday to your son 2 weeks ago, and you are a month ago now, and you were like, hey. So I was like,
It's a little cringe, but I for sure know Ava don't listen.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
So
for
I
a
don't talk
fact.
about her,
But Jason,
Hey,
he might be
Jason.
listening.
Hey, how's it going, buddy? I like Jason.
Me too.
He's a good guy. Well, I hope so. Be a harsh way for him to find out if you didn't, huh? Be an awkward breakfast.
Definitely. Heard
Hey,
you
you-
talking shit.
You didn't listen to episode 244, did you, champ? Yeah, that's why I'm standing over you with gasoline, Dad.
No, he'd straight up just punch me in the nuts.
Really? It's got
Oh,
in
he's
there.
a savage.
A savage?
A savage. He's like Randy Savage.
That's a savage with an N.
Savage.
It's a savage. When you have a bad rash, you put a savage on it. Anyways, you were last week, which everybody's probably forgot this now, but it seems like it was just a few hours ago to us. You said
It
something
was actually a
about,
few minutes ago.
you said something about God, kill the kayfabe, motherfucker. It's been a week. It feels like it's been less.
7 days.
But yes, thanks for getting on the level. You were talking about last week something about dirty porn. You said, well, all right, I'm going to tell you this. And I said, well, hold on. We'll save that for next week.
Oh, yes. Lord have mercy. And I told you after we cut, I was like, I can't talk about that.
Oh, well, then you waffled on it. You went back and forth. Like, I can tell you, everybody's dead.
Well, I told you.
So I feel like you might have created like a snuff film.
No.
Is that what you're
No.
Well, everybody in that video's gone. I mean, I know where they're buried.
Well, everybody in the memory is gone for sure. But I don't know. I don't know.
Change some names.
But
Change a friend you know.
No.
You get too real. That's why when I told you I didn't like a guy named Norman, you mean Toe? Why do you like Toe? Well, hell, I know what his nickname is. I would have said it if I wanted everybody to know. But you're like, let's get real names.
Well, did it happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
What's the problem?
Sometimes I just don't like people. I don't want to have people come back like, I heard you talking about me on the podcast.
I'd be like, thanks for listening. Awesome.
I'm going to kill you, maybe. Some people don't like that, though,
Fucking
man.
try it.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about this next week.
If you don't like it, tune in, then tell me what you don't like.
So a friend you know watched the dirty porn?
No. That friend would be myself.
Damn it.
And
You're not good at kayfabing. You're supposed to be like, yeah, a friend I know.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I hope y'all liked that week-long build-up.
Seriously, I like I said, they're all gone, so it don't matter anyways. But
Where'd they go?
To heaven.
Except that one person. I don't know.
No, they're both good people. But so I used to go to my Mama Ophies. You got a problem with her name? To watch the pay-per-views because my Uncle Donald, my dad's youngest brother, had the black box. And a lot of times whenever I would go over there, my nosy little ass would fucking press play on the VCR before I would, turn the channel to whatever fucking, the black box was on or whatever. Like the wrestling event was on or whatever. Yeah. I would press play on the VCR just to see what was in it. And I remember one time, like I went over there and I pressed play on the VCR first.
You were one of those assholes that was just like, oh, what's
I'm going to blow everything out of the water.
I'm going to fuck up Christmas. Watch what I do.
I pressed play. And dude, like I said, Woman Times 4 was my first extreme porno watching.
Right.
And then I had this memory. Like I'm probably, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. Probably 8. And I remember thinking that the woman had her face in the other woman's butt. Right? Like in my head, that's what she was doing.
Right.
I didn't understand why. Looking back on it with my semi-photographic memory, she had her full face in a headlock position in the woman's crotch. And she was going like that, and I watched about 3 seconds of it, and I immediately turned it off. Guess what my next move was?
What?
I immediately went into the living room where my mamaw was at that time. And I told her what Uncle Donald had in the fucking VCR. And I started questioning her about it.
Oh, how did that go?
Oh,
Mama Ophi.
God, dude. It was so uncomfortable. Even thinking back, it's so goddamn
That
uncomfortable.
woman had a hairy bikini on.
And I remember asking her, I said, why is Uncle Donald, like, this is verbatim. Why is Uncle Donald watching them videos like that? And I remember telling her what that woman had her face in the woman's ass, or I said butt,
Yeah,
in her butt, and she just looked at me and she just grinned and smiled. That was all she did. She didn't say a fucking thing.
She was probably thinking,
she was so
this little boy don't like women. Look at him.
Well, no, I think it was just, damn, this little fucker bum rushed me. Right. I'm in here watching Hallmark Channel. And then he's in there talking about coochie eaters. Like, what the fuck? Thinking back,
She just played deaf on you.
I would be horrified if one of my kids came, they don't even have kids yet, but thinking of that notion,
right,
it would fucking terrify me.
Yeah.
I think she played the best card right because I don't have any memories of her being one way or another.
Right.
And then I also remember, like,
internally, she was probably thinking, don't say anything negative because you don't want to fuck him up again. Because back then, they were homophobic. Everybody was.
Right.
It was like, don't say anything negative because you might turn him off of women. But he don't need to be seeing that at this age. What should we do, Ophi? Let's just smile.
Right. That's what she did. And I remember, like, this was around the same time period. I remember, because around 8 years old, man, I just became a nosy little fuck. Like, I would pillage through people's shit. Like,
you used to rummage through your uncle's shit all the time.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm like, Richard, come in here. Look at this.
That was even after you were 8.
Well, 9.
Yeah, I remember you were like 11 and 12. And he still had stuff over there, and you're like, hey, check this out.
Look at what Vince sent him.
Right.
Like, but so I'm looking through shit. Like, he's got a photo album. And this is like just a photo album that was just laying around. Like, this wasn't put up in a closet somewhere. And I start looking through the photo album, seeing if I recognize people. Because, as a kid, you're like, maybe somebody there I know.
All right.
And I'm looking through.
And this is your uncle's?
Yes. And I'm looking through.
Is he still alive?
No.
Okay.
And I start seeing, like him at places with women and stuff and this and that. And then, like, I get about midway through, And there's just this bitch, like this random bitch, like she's topless, sitting on a couch. And
hold on. Was it like a plaid looking gray, like off-white couch?
no, this was like in a house.
Yeah, that's what
somewhere.
I'm saying. Like, it was like an old 80s style couch. She have a mullet.
Super
and there was
80s.
wallpaper in the background.
Because
that
this, when I'm looking at this, it's probably like 1990.
Yeah.
So it could have been in the 70s, as far
Right.
as I know. Like, but I remember seeing it, and it wasn't good enough just going to Mama Ophi and like telling her about it.
Yeah.
I took the fucking book in there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's this woman? And I show her titties out in the hall. That's just Uncle Donald's friend, baby. And I'm like, why is she naked? And she couldn't give me a straight answer of like why this bitch was
She
naked.
spilled some stuff on her shirt. They were cleaning it.
And I
Here's
remember,
another question. Why am I on the next page with no clothes on?
I remember just like thinking, damn, even at 8 years old, I'm like, damn, she can't give me a straight answer why this bitch is naked.
Right.
Something's wrong with
They
this.
can't give you a straight. Well, they dodging the question.
And I just take the book back. Go put it back where you found it, baby. Okay. And I do it. But I still remember, and I'm thinking now, again,
Yeah.
I would fucking melt
Yeah.
if my kid brought something to that. Hey, Daddy, who is this?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would just implode. Like,
I've had a couple of those moments where I've said something or I've been in this as well. Like some of the tapes that I got that had wrestling on them sometimes would have a little small clip of like a R-rated movie sex scene or an adult movie or something. And I remember there was this one video that we got from I think we talked about this, that my uncle had taped a show, and it's this guy going, "Hey baby, you Italian? You look Italian." And he's like trying to catcall these women. And he's at like an airport or something, and he finally looks at one and he goes, "Hey baby, as long as I got a face, you'll have a place to sit. It's the Royal Rumble." Like it just cuts right into it. Royal Rumble. It's something like that. It's Survivors. It's something like that. Because I remember we watched it whenever we were like 11, 12. Like we were old enough to like, or 13 maybe.
Yeah.
We were in our teens, and we were like, let's watch one of these old wrestling tapes. And we rewound it. Sometimes you would rewind it a little bit too far, and you'd get that first like 10 seconds of what was on there before, and then it would cut. Mm-hmm. Well, that happened a couple times. There was one time we rewound a tape, and it was one that we had borrowed, and I don't remember who we borrowed it from. But
I
it was, oh yeah, I know. I remember who we borrowed it from. But we borrowed a tape, and we rewound it. And I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was our neighbor who was a girl. Wrestling was really big at the time, and we let her borrow the tape because she wanted to see the matches too. She wanted to see Stone Cold or something.
Yeah.
It was WWF. And she called. She goes, "Did y'all know there was a girl riding a guy on the front of this video?"
I was trying to get you hot.
I was like, "Wait, what?" So sure
I
enough,
seen that girl like last week.
yeah.
Thumbs down.
But
Even from me. Thumbs down.
But anyways, sure enough, she brought it back, and we were like, first thing me and you did was rewind it back and watch like, holy shit,
How
that
did we
is-
miss this?
And it's like, welcome to the 1998 Royal Rumble, or whatever. It's always the Royal Rumble. But I remember we borrowed another one. I think it was a King of the Ring video that I'd gotten from a guy. He worked at the skating rink at the time. But I was old enough. I was like 15, and I was still going because there wasn't a lot to do in our town at the time. So I was still going, and he let me borrow the video, and I rewound it a little bit. I let the tape run out, like wrestling had ended, and it did that little wow where it kind of cuts back to what you recorded over.
Yeah.
And it was just this girl. It was a Spice Channel video, but it was this girl, and she's just like bent over the bed, and you see from her face. And all of a sudden, he's just going, ah! and knocking her down like every time. And she's like falling. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. And I was like, good Lord. Is it all wrestling? Like, because chances are if you had wrestling, like you had the black box, and you probably recorded porn at some point or another. And
I definitely did.
And then you thought, I got to get rid of this. I'll just record over it with this one.
I never thought
You
that.
never thought
Ever.
that because you were like, this is gold.
I'm going to need this one day. I will look back and cherish this.
What am I going to be awkward around my grandkids with?
No, it's not that.
That's what we need to do. We need to find, because I've got all my VHSs in the shed.
They're burnt.
Probably not.
Oh, they're burnt.
They're in cases and stuff, like
What
canisters.
kind of cases?
Plastic, sealed.
Like the video store type deal? Even if that, I hate to tell you, but more than likely mold got to them. Moisture of some sort. And
We can look. I'll look and see. But what we need to do is we need to have a night where we try to find some of our old stuff and just see how outdated it looks.
well,
Call it our own little jerk session.
I already beat you to it. I had one of those during COVID, actually.
You were supposed to bring Beavis and Butthead over.
Fuck a duck, man. I'm going to tell you something.
Hold on. I got to do this.
You need to get canceled. You need to get your goddamn wings clipped. They ought to be marching. They ought to be in fucking cages. Fucking ducks. But, what the fuck was I saying?
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
A jerk session during COVID.
The reason that
He got nostalgic during COVID.
the reason that I thought that I couldn't find that Beavis and Butthead the whole seasons and stuff,
Yeah.
was because the TV that I had the flash drive plugged into doesn't read those M4V files, so it wasn't even recognizing it. I took that flash drive and plugged it into my old TV, which is from like 2011, and it popped right up. So I'm thinking, well, fuck, I've lost this forever. I got to find that other. But then I found it. And, but yeah, during COVID, I went through.
This has been things that could have been said off air, but Josh will probably forget. Tune in next week as we talk about something that Josh will probably bring up randomly.
Let me tell you something. There's probably a fucker in Germany right now just like, oh my God, then what did he watch? Like, so you can go fuck
No,
yourself.
I'm talking about you're like, I found the drive and thought it was lost, but I put it on an old TV and it works.
Yeah.
But anyways,
So
jerking off in COVID season.
So I got all my old VHS tapes out that I knew were my old pornos that I recorded when I was like 12.
Because you put little things on them like SummerSlam 42 and stuff like
Code words.
Yeah.
And
No, I did that. I put SummerSlam 32 on.
32.
It's like
It was only up to like 10 at that point.
yeah.
But I went through a lot of them, and I'm just like, I told you, like Warren G was on one of the
Right.
fucking Playboy TV things or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there while he just occasionally like, oh, look at this bitch's titty or something.
I kind of remember that video.
But
Because you had a whole bunch of them, and sometimes Chris's mom would go to work, and we just watch them over there in the summer.
But I went through them, and like I got nostalgic. I was just like, because a lot of times, you know, mom might be coming through or whatever, and I have to turn it,
Yeah.
and then I'd turn it on a regular channel. It might be on a commercial or whatever. I'm just like, damn, that was awesome. Back in
Old
the
commercials
day.
are the best.
They are, man.
Like, you know, there's YouTube channels dedicated to years and like commercials.
There's a lot of different ones that's been popping up on my like channel surfing from '91 and stuff like that. I love that shit, man.
Yeah.
Makes me get all in my feels. Love it.
Well, Josh, something else that can get people all in their feels is the feeling they'll get when they go to tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees. And if they go over there right now, Josh, what kind of shirts are they going to find?
Well, not only what kind of shirts they're going to find, we were talking about porno here just a second ago, and I'm going to tell you something. There's no more erotic of a feel than fucking just like silk. Now,
Leather on your nipples.
We don't sell silk shirts, but we sell the next best thing. As long as you pick that second most expensive option, you're going to have nipple pleasure. And it might be nipple mania.
Well, nipple pleasure guaranteed with every purchase.
You're guaranteed to get half a chub every time you wear a P3 Radio t-shirt. Now, what better way to prove me wrong is to buy one at tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. We got that 80s tee, Ray J's soda can t-shirt, Freddy's Front Yard Slaughterhouse, so many more. tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. TEES.
tinyurl.com/P3RadioTees, the home of P3 Radio merchandise. Song for Your Mama, Opie. Opie? This is the Lumineers. Ophelia.
Are these the ones that sang I belong with you?
Yep. Hey ho.
You belong with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. You like them?
Not really.
Well, they're too mainstream now. I liked them when they were playing in dirt floor places.
I probably would have.
Actually, they only have like 2 hits, so they didn't get too mainstream for you there, Josh. There we go.
You've been on my mind, girl, since the flood. Heaven help a fool who falls in love.
Ophelia, why does Uncle Donald have the naked bitches in his photo album?
I kind of like that song. It's always good to play songs you kind of like on the radio. On the radio.
Yeah, good lord! You told me to pull up a song. I pull up Joe Walsh, Rocky Mountain Way.
I feel like we've done that one though.
I don't think we have, but you're like, oh God, Joe Walsh. Like,
No, it's
oh,
just-
that's too fun.
I feel like we've heard it.
You've heard it 1,000 times.
We've heard it. I did see something today, man. I just thought about like, we've been talking about things that we did when we were kids and everything. I saw something today that fucked me up, like on accident. You know how Facebook does the thing where, every once in a while Facebook will act like a little pussy and be like, put a little I with a slash over it. It's like, this has been blocked for sensitive content, and you click it and
Press
it's
this to see the
it's
photo.
a 3-legged dog or something. It's like, oh, well, yeah, that's sad, but come on.
Be like Jesus crawling on the floor after he got beat up or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean,
Like,
some of it's just
why
like,
is this appalling?
yeah, I mean,
But I can see other things, and it's like,
right.
oh, this is fucking progressive.
So anytime I see that little censor mark, I immediately click on it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, you're not supposed to see this. Hold on.
Look.
Hold on.
Just
Okay.
because COVID's gone don't mean it's fucking gone.
I mean,
I asked my wife, I said, y'all got very many people up there? She's like, no,
no, it's
not at all.
Omicron. Me and Peterson talked about this 3 weeks ago. I gotta remember the timeline about how the Omicron, like
It washed it out.
Yeah, and it's happened with other diseases. Like it's kind
That's
of
the
mutated.
way that
to
they
the-
predicted,
Yeah.
or the smart people predicted
Yeah.
that it would happen in 2020. And it happened, and now they're trying their best to push it. Your dog might need to get a vaccine. Like, God damn, we done all been shot up.
Yeah.
Like everybody in my family shot up. Like
I
a
mean, trust
motherfucker.
me, I'm all for vaccines.
You want me to get my dog?
I'm all for
not
vaccines.
literally, but you know what I
But
mean.
you know what I mean. I'm all for vaccines, but yeah, I mean,
Once it becomes comical,
I will say this though. And I swear I don't like to get political. I don't like being political. But as soon as tanks started rolling into the Ukraine, you didn't hear anything else about the COVID.
it's amazing
It's
how
so
that happens.
don't get me wrong. I'm not making.
It's like
light.
the
That's a
Russians
serious
killed
sit-
COVID.
That's a serious situation. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I'm not making light of that. I don't want anybody to think that. It's terrible what's happening over there. And I hope it doesn't lead to. I'm hoping and praying it doesn't lead to something catastrophic. But
Definitely need to get that wheat.
as soon as that news story came around, and the news companies were trying for, as well as I do, killer bees or murder hornets.
Yes.
They tried with everything to try to get COVID to go away, but they kept going back to it. And then it started, after 2 years, it was like Nitro ratings. It started dying out. Like, we've seen the NWO. We're tired of it. So then...
The Omicron was like when Stevie Ray was.
Yeah. No, the Omicron...
Everybody was there.
The Omicron was the fart that killed it. You know what I mean? It was Sting getting fast counted
Right.
by Hogan at Starrcade when he should have just won clean. And he never got fast counted. He lost. That was Omicron, and it just kind of killed everybody's taste for it,
Killed my taste buds.
it did mine too. But you know, yeah, it's still out there, but you know, you think, well, we're out here at summer and spring. People are getting out. Like, I was just at Disney, like, and they were herding people like cattle. Like, I haven't been that close to people since pre-COVID. Like them herding people in and shoving us all in one room and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, the only place they told us to put a mask on was on the train, which I was like, this is ridiculous. We've all been like crowded around each other in rooms all day. And now you're like, get on the train, but put on a mask because there's going to be 6 people in your cart. It's like, wait, what? All right, whatever.
Those are the same people that wear a mask in the car when they're driving alone.
Yeah. It was kind of like the same people that wore gloves. And then they would rub their nose with those gloves and keep the gloves on and touch everything. And you're like,
I'm going to be not responsible, so
Right.
everybody else will be too.
Yeah.
By touching what I touch.
but anyways, I find it fascinating that media, and it's not really political, it's just media. Media follows trends, and what's the next thing that we can pump enough? And it goes back to viewership. It all
you
goes
gotta
back to
understand, too,
numbers and viewership.
It is a little political in itself.
It is.
Because a lot of times said governments, whoever those may be, might want the media to sway the opinion for one way or another. Like, we need to really get this shit over, so you need to put the fear.
It's propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do it everywhere. They've done it for years. But I don't know, man. That's where you get in the political stuff, and that's really why it's like, I talk to people, I think I said this to Chris, it's like, anybody that gets that wrapped up in politics, they don't understand it's a work. It's like wrestling.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
and I feel like I'm in the minority saying that because I know you know as well as I do, there's people out there that get worked up about politics. And, you know,
there's families that have been torn apart.
Yeah.
Within the past, few
and
years.
And the funny thing about it is, those same people that are on TV hating each other will go to benefit dinners together. They'll sit right beside each other, have small talk. You know what I mean? It's
as soon as a camera gets there,
as soon as
it's
they're
like,
divided,
that's
can't
a
laugh.
motherfucker.
Don't stand up and cheer for them. Don't laugh at their joke. You know, yeah.
But to think
a
that
work.
they're not all rich assholes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about rich assholes like you. I'm talking about like super rich assholes. Okay? The ones that don't have to work, Like, those are the ones that are stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Well,
that's been our political minute.
Bilderberg, motherfucker.
That's been our political minute. But yeah, whatever kills off COVID, I'm ready for it. You know what I mean?
So you're saying you like the Russians?
It's just no.
They're the ones that did it?
No, the media. Well, not the media. Omicron, I think, was what did it.
No. I'm
pretty sure.
That ain't what happened.
That's not what the news media told me. Oh, well.
Well, Richard Lee supports Russia. Now let's move on to this next segment.
Good news
Get
for
that
lovers.
for a soundbite.
No. What was it I was going to show? I was going to show you. Oh, no. I saw something that messed me up today. And I got sidetracked there. We just got back from Orlando 2 weeks ago now. Mm-hmm. And while we were there, we went to a grocery store, and they have stuff all over Orlando. There was a tower thing. You know those tower drop rides? They closed the one at Six Flags in Louisville down because it was dropping. It looks like a donut on a pole. Mm-hmm. And they raise it all the way up and they drop it. And then they stop it like 50 feet before it hits the ground.
I've rode that exactly.
Yes. Well, I've rode one too. Well,
it's called the Elevator.
The one in St. Louis was shut down after a cable or something snapped, and it cut a girl's legs off. That was like 15 years or 14 years old.
There was I think he was like, he wasn't even 10 years old, but he died this week.
Well, no,
on one of those.
That's what I was about to say. Orlando has the tallest one that just opened in December.
400 and something feet.
Yeah, it's way up there. And I'll say this, we saw it from the grocery store, and we saw it during the day, and I was like, good Lord, it looked tall from a distance.
Yeah.
And I was like, good Lord, look at how far away that thing, and it still looks high. And we saw it drop, and you know how when something looks like it's going slow, but it's covering a lot of ground, like a plane. Mm-hmm. The plane looks like it's going slow, but it's just really flew like 12 miles in the 2 seconds you've been looking at it. But I remember looking at it. I was like, oh, wow, that's huge. I would never ride that because all those things feel dangerous to me. Mm-hmm. There was a boy on that same ride last night or 2 nights ago that fell out.
Yep.
He was 14 years old.
That's sad, man.
He was the size of like a pretty decent sized man. You know what I mean? He was like me when I was 14. You know, already
what
6
was
foot.
the deal? I mean,
They don't know. They're looking at it because. So I saw the video. And that's what messed. Well, see, that's the thing. Facebook put a thing over this. I didn't know anything about the story, but they put a line over this and they put a thing over it.
Yeah.
And then I hit play on it, and it's just the guys talking around the thing. I was like, all right, what happened on the ride? Somebody probably said something inappropriate or did something, and the thing raises, and when it gets to 50 feet, when it starts to slow down, he keeps going. And he slides right out of the bottom.
Holy
You have that
shit.
harness that goes over the top.
Yeah.
It's like metal bar. He slides right out from underneath it, like it released or something. And he fell like probably 50 feet.
But he was going at
He was-
inertia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he kept going as it went down, and he slid out the bottom. And he you didn't see him hit, but you heard there was a guardrail there, and he hit like the rail and the ground.
God damn, man.
And I was like, oh my God. And I was in such shock that I was talking to some guys. I was like, dude, I just saw this video and it just kind of messed me up. I was like, this is pretty messed up. And I sent them the link and they were like, good Lord. I was like, yeah, usually Facebook is like, when they do this, they're like, this is some pretty wuss ass stuff. But no, they might have had it right on this one. But no, man. And he lived to the hospital. But it messed me up because I was like, I was just there.
Yeah.
I just saw that. And then you find out it's only been open since December.
I rode the elevator
Yeah.
in 1995. I think it was just a year or two, or maybe a couple years later, something like that. That's when the. So during the break where you took a shit, I just did some reading, and I talked out of school.
Mr. Kayfabe.
I spoke out of school, rather. The accident that I'm speaking of happened in 2007 on the same ride that I rode 95, which just opened or whatever. And,
Was that in Louisville?
Yes.
I just said
they
that was
changed the name from the
like the
elevator,
Superman or something?
Superman Tower of Power.
Yeah.
Girl lost her legs.
Yes. I just said
I rode that ride.
Yeah.
And
we went like 2 weeks after it happened, and it was all roped off still.
Ugh,
Then now it ain't even a Six Flags.
What is it? It was called Kentucky Kingdom,
I think now.
but Six Flags had
Bought
it.
it out, yeah.
So maybe they. That's where my uncle had all their
Yeah.
Six Flags shows and stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I saw that today, and it kind of fucked me up. You know what I mean? It's like,
I would say so.
but I found myself watching it a couple times at different points, not for the accident, but just
Lord,
the things that I missed in the background. Like, oh my, how could it happen? You're trying to see why did it open. You know what I mean? Like, could
How
you
did he
tell?
slip out?
Yeah, could you tell something was wrong? You start trying to do your own investigation work, but I think the thing that messed me up the most is like,
the thud.
No, well, yeah, that did. But the thing that messed me up the most was like, there's a real possibility that my daughter would have wanted to ride that ride because she's into thrill rides now. Apparently.
Think about this. There's a real possibility that that kid's mom was sitting right beside him.
Wasn't there.
Well, I mean, if you wouldn't have read in, I mean, you don't know.
No, the news article said he was in Orlando with a friend. Like, yeah, so his parents were back in Missouri.
So then you start to think,
Yeah.
if you were in that position,
You're not expecting you
You're
let your
thinking-
kid go to the land of Disney, which is why that place will be a parking lot soon because Disney's going to scrub it because it's not even a Disney park, but it's right there in Orlando. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you got to think like the trauma that the parents like, damn, I shouldn't have let him go, or
Right.
those thoughts of doubt and stuff. That's awful, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's do this. Let's get off the sadness. I saw this video from Kevin Nash, and I feel bad about
Speaking
playing
of
it.
sadness, that motherfucker looks sad.
Well, I feel bad about playing it because he's going through a tough time right now. He just lost his best friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's making videos that he's putting out, and apparently there's this video of that he made, and he posted it, and I saw it pop up on YouTube. But it relates so much to us that I feel like we can get sound drops out of it, even though we don't know the guy that it's about. It's about some Twitch guy that got banned from Twitch named Wings of Redemption. Sorry,
Wings of Freedom.
Wings of Redemption.
Because, you know, there's a P in freedom.
Well, I was reading it out of the side of my eye, trying to.
I would look across that.
I saw the dim.
Freedom.
Wings of Redemption. So apparently he's like a terrible person. But let's just let Kevin Nash tell you about him.
Hey, Richard, I'm going to give you
Oh, his real name's Richard. That's why I said you can find some sound drops in this.
But
he's
already off to a good start.
He's going to hit you too, so just be ready, okay? Just know there's a hit coming from Kevin Nash.
a quick
Here,
update.
let me go back.
Hey, Richard, I'm going to give you
Now he's very obviously inebriated.
You think?
Yeah.
a quick update. That your 38-year-old, 500-pound streamer distilled 13K in donations for weight loss surgery and bought a salvaged V6 Mustang. Buying a V6 Mustang alone makes you a douchebag. You're an animal killer. But not only are you an animal killer, but you abuse your pets. Jeez, I think killing animals would be pretty much abusing pets.
Pause it. Did somebody pay for a cameo to him to
know.
fucking just trash this guy?
I don't know.
So, you are you foolish to think that Kevin Nash?
It sounds like he's reading.
It's just this fucking like Twitch stalker, and he's
Dude.
like, "Let me tell you something about Wings of Redemption on Twitch."
Have you ever followed his Twitter?
No.
He gets politically deep sometimes.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
other people have retweeted, but this is
He's definitely a
actual
drunk tweeter.
video.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the Twitch guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is one of them cases to where, you know how like Corny's got those deals to where you can pay him to do a cameo for you,
Yeah.
and you can pay him to motherfuck somebody or whatever.
And that might be what he's doing.
Maybe that's
here.
what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe. It goes on for another minute here.
You're gonna get your money's worth from Kevin Nash,
Yeah.
buddy. Let me tell you.
Just abuse of pets and kill other animals, then you're fucking Dahmer. And you also abuse your wife, who you married for her health insurance, and you want the age of consent to be 12, which I find it very hard for anybody to want the age of 12 to be, or the age of consent to be 12. If any of this shit's true, you're a piece of fucking shit. If it wasn't,
If any of this is true, you're a piece of fucking shit. All these good sound drops.
If any of this is true,
You're a piece of fucking
I'm not
shit.
really sure.
Right.
But
Oh, there's more. There's more sound drops here.
yeah, busy with my own fucking turmoil. I'd probably fucking, wish you brain cancer or something fucking mean like that, but I got my own shit going. I would, at the minimum, fucking put a pillow over his face and punch him 15 times. I'm able to look in the mirror every day, and I know I'm none of these things. I guess it could be worse. You could be a fucking Russian pilot. You could be bombing fucking children in Ukraine. So I guess he forgot to add that to your fucking your portfolio.
Yeah, so it is. It's definitely a roast this guy for me. This is he's a piece of shit. Here he is. Yeah.
Richard, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
rewind that, please. Just
Why
so
do you want that
there's
part?
a clear pickup point.
It's kind of fucked up. I mean, not even kind of fucked up. It's real fucked up. I guess that's what you want. Portfolio. Richard, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
There you
It's
go.
kind of fucked up.
There you go.
I mean,
That's not how I
even
pull
kinda
sound
fucked
clips.
up, it's real
Bless your
fucked
heart.
up.
What? I just said
I
so
guess
we
that's
can pull them later.
What you want to be. Somebody's got to be fucked up, right?
I don't pull them from our actual show. I pull them from the clip.
Well,
But bless your heart.
let's just pull the curtain all the way back.
That's where you got to pull
What
it
did
back.
Memo Opie
You gotta-
really say when I showed her them titties?
Well, you got to pull that skin back, peel that curtain back, and clean under that head. He's all sleeve.
That ain't how we pull sound drums. Well, damn.
Well, let's see.
Let me find something that I sent. Oh, you mean that one thing you said?
Which one of these is mine? No, you pick one of your stories if you want to.
Well, no, you done cycled through all of them trying to find your shit.
No,
so
I
you
was
got
trying
something
to
lined up.
We'll do this one. This looks funny.
This is just a video to watch because it's weird. This is something we can watch off air.
Well,
you pick the
pick
most
something.
the shits one.
You
of the
pick
whole
one
bunch.
of your stories that you want to be tied to.
No, come on. Let's pick.
That's not mine. That's yours from like 2 weeks ago.
Right. It's pretty fucked up.
That's mine from like a month ago.
Oh, well, let's talk about it, Alice.
All right, so you know how
we'll
you don't...
get this out of the way. That way we can do all my shit.
Well,
You got to get your shit in.
Well, you do some of yours. We don't have to do this.
No, let's talk about it. Alice, the first all-electric passenger plane, prepares to fly. Huh.
Well, I think
Looks
you just
pretty
did it.
small. Is that for 8 people?
It was a bit. I mean, it's really old now. As you can see, it's January 31st. Is the it's
Small plane?
It's a no pilot plane. It's like a drone.
You know, to make people feel safe. Like, that terrifies me.
Yeah.
Even more so than having a real person behind the
computer
controls.
flying it.
Like,
I did hear a comedian though that said,
I don't want Hal doing that shit.
Hold on, let me see. I don't know why that's messing up so much.
You can hear the electric.
I heard a comedian say that the only people that are really against self-driving cars are the older people. And if you put some of their driving records in to the computer wouldn't be too comfortable with them driving cars. But
yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I seen how my work computers act.
I hope we can get to self-driving cars because I would love, like, I'm a little bit aged out of it now, but I would love to be able to go out to a place, have drinks, and then just get in the car and go. Like, not me driving. It's going to get me there. It's like an Uber.
Total Recall.
Yeah, it's like an Uber.
Okay.
But you don't.
But
Uber's your car.
I'm going to use one of your terms. The flip side of the coin.
Ah. So the other side of the coin?
You are a tech, right?
Yeah.
Or at heart, you're a tech. And you've seen the way that computers can just fuck up.
Usually there's a reason,
Well, like when you're
bugs.
drunk and you're trying to pinpoint shit like that, you're not very good at those decisions when you get in the car. Well, the screen's shorting out in this Tesla.
Well, anytime you have a machine.
I'd be all right, hell.
Anytime you have a machine.
I just spilt beer all over the screen.
Even the human body, if it's looked at as a machine, all of it breaks down. There's nothing that just...
I think a computer is more likely to fuck up just in an instant. Like, I would bet on that more so than, like, having a heart attack while you're driving or something like that.
It depends. Like I said, now, are you doing routine maintenance to the computer? Because, that's the thing that a lot of people neglect. They're like, oh, my computer's fucking slow. And it's like, well, when's the last time you restarted it? Well, I do it every night. Show me how you restart it, and then they just hold the power button down, or they shut the laptop.
Isn't that called a hard restart?
Yes, it's a hard reset, and it's bad for the hard drive in most cases. So also you have people that are like, well, I leave it plugged up all the time, but when I unplug it, ain't got no battery. It's because you leave it plugged up all the time. I don't know why it's so weird and it's acting weird. Well, it's because you have updates that have been on there that's needed to download and install for months. There's all kinds of stuff that if you know what to look for, you can keep a computer. It's just like a car. If you look at a computer like a car, you couldn't drive the thing for 10 years without an oil change and not adjusting things and not getting, tires rotated.
You're right.
You know what I mean? You'd have to do
there's always
maintenance.
that, what if?
Well, it's that way with cars. What if you're driving down the road and your tire blows? What if you're driving down the road and the engine catches on fire?
This may be
all
why,
of these things probably happened with your Mustang.
This may be why that people buy into the Terminator scenario.
Well, there's a disconnect with when you get past a certain age where you decide I don't want to learn it anymore. It's not that it's too advanced for you. It's just like you don't want to learn anymore. I'm that way with certain things.
Trust has a big deal.
Well, it's not just trust. When you said I was a tech. Well, yeah, I worked as a tech for 7-8 years, and you get to a point where it's not that people don't trust it, they don't understand it. And if they understood it, they'd know that there's certain things that they could do to limit the problem, like oil changes, getting your tires rotated, making sure your belts are okay, making sure you have antifreeze in the car, things that you would do for your car that you've just been you've just been ingrained to do that because you grew up in it. You're not used to, making sure that there's no viruses there, or that you're restarting, that you're updating, that you're doing all these things that you're supposed to do to maintain a good computer system. And then when you get to have to learn that new trick, you don't want to because it's over my head. And that's just the excuse that a lot of people use because they don't want to take the time to know how to do it. So yes, computers can fail, but for the most part, a lot of the times computers fail because of human error. Cars fail too. They fail because human error, and sometimes computers fail because of malfunction in parts, just like cars or any other machine. It's just sorry, it got all weird and serious, but it's just having the knowledge of maintaining the system that a lot of people don't have, or they just don't want to know how to do. They look at it like a TV. You turn it on and it's just supposed to work all the time. And they're two totally different things.
Well, that was the computers are perfect. Computers are perfect scene with Richard Mulligan.
No, I do know that, there are those stories out there with AI and artificial intelligence and robots. And I told you I don't think it's going to be long before you have I think we talked about it with Gobi here, before you have the, burn your own sexpert robot.
I saw a backstage deal somebody put on Twitter. I don't know what the gimmick was, but in the picture there was in the background they had these fucking those gimmicks that you take to the car to put your bags and shit, and then you can hang stuff on them like at the hotel.
Closets?
No, those little carts. But the carts.
Oh yeah, luggage carts.
The rack and shit. But then you got the stuff you can stack it on.
Oh, I know I'm gonna sound like the rich asshole here, but do you not stay at hotels with luggage carts?
I am telling you.
Okay.
You
just didn't know what they were called.
No.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was like, tell me you're not staying at places that have doors on to the outside of the hotel.
No, we park in front of the door. And it's usually a pay by the hour gimmick.
It's like, don't tell me you're staying in those places. Don't tell me you're sleeping in those places.
It's only $25 a night.
Oh,
what's wrong?
There was a guy that did a show about hotels and the cleanliness of it. He's like, even if you're staying at like 5-star hotels, if you're not staying at the right ones, you're probably sleeping on some pretty filthy shit. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, I forgot what I was saying.
Do we need to pause and rewind? Luggage rack.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
You said there was a guy, had the hanger thing that you put the clothes on, you push it with the luggage on it, and it's got the wheels and it's a rack. Most hotels have it.
I don't know where I was going with it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Like, dude, completely left.
Did I blow your mind with
you
the computer
fucked me up with you like, well, yeah, you don't stay. And I'm like, I got defensive. And I was like, well, yeah, motherfucker, I actually do. And then I forgot. Like, my anger overrode all that shit.
Well, you could have just said, I don't know what they're called. But it made it sound like
but
those
I like
fancy places.
I like saying, fuck you better.
Those fancy places with their luggage carts. Like I'm going to need one of them for my Walmart bag that I'm bringing my underwear in.
It's a garbage bag. Either way.
Those fancy places. I don't stay in those poor places, Josh.
I stay in condominiums that I pay $1,800 a month or whatever it is for maintenance.
$1,800 a year. Ooh. Maintenance fee.
Well, that ain't shit to you.
I ain't paying that. Fuck that.
That's like a day's work.
Yeah. Anyways, find one of your find one of your videos here. Or do you want to do the Crime Stoppers story?
What's that?
That's the picture down here.
Oh, let's do that.
So this is from our local news. Facebook has a Crime Stoppers here in Jackson, Tennessee. And the story says, we need your help. A 2017 Toyota Tundra was taken. Toyota Tundra was taken from the driveway. The vehicle was recovered the following day in a nearby field, which is usually what happens to these vehicles. They're usually
He jacked off in it and left.
it's like they used it as like a homeless
A
sex
cum
shop.
dumpster.
Yeah. They came in every orifice of that car.
Came in the key locks. I don't know how the fuck that's possible. Must have had a funnel wiener.
Oh Lord, there was a bunch of them in here. But anyways, it says missing from the vehicle at the time of the recovery were old cell phones belonging to the victim. The suspect began to use the phone and was taking selfies. Since the phone was still linked to the victim's Apple ID, it was sending the images to the victim's iPad. If you have any information about this person, call Crime Stoppers or use our mobile app. So yeah, it's got full face pictures of the guy that stole the truck. Who? Well, he might not have stole the truck, but he definitely was around to get the phone out of the truck. And they're like full face pictures of him. Is that not one of the dumbest things?
I'm gonna say this: if you're a fucking dumbass enough to steal an automobile, you're dumbass enough to do this shit right here. He's the one that stole it.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely get to this age now where people.
He doesn't clean his fingernails.
No, that was what somebody said on the comments. Like, look at his fingernails.
He's a fucking moron.
Yeah. My thing is this. The dumbest thing
What
to
led
steal.
this young man to stealing this vehicle? Wonder.
The dumbest thing to steal nowadays are phones and cars, because they all have some type of tracker on them. And if you're stealing a phone and not trying to sell it, you're dumb. If you're stealing a phone to keep, you're an idiot, because they all have trackers. Even if you wipe them, there's stuff that can be done to, find it, or it's basically useless to you. There was a guy, he was in professional wrestling. I won't say his name, but maybe like
describe him to my will.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, that's I know him. I'll say his
no
name out loud. There was a guy. I honestly can't remember the guy's name, but I remember who he was, and I remember he had been in wrestling around here for a while. There was a news story that came out, and it was on Facebook because he was on Crime Stoppers. He and his wife were at Walmart, saw a woman push her cart up to the cart return, and noticed that there was a phone in there. Well, instead of grabbing it and trying to, come get your phone. They snuck it in their pocket and took off with it, and then they got it home and tried to unlock it. Well, after you try to unlock it so many times, it takes a screenshot. Oh. And it took a screenshot of his face, which, the front-facing camera is always the worst-facing camera. It's like when you go to take a picture and all of a sudden you just see all your 7 chins and you're like, oh, good Lord. But, there was his picture right there. The woman couldn't find her phone, and then they started looking at the Walmart surveillance and they saw him go, so they charged him with theft of property.
Good deal.
I mean, and I don't know whatever happened with that. He could have been cleared, but I didn't use any names, so
could have been cleared.
I mean, you know what happens in court. People take deals all the time, and people get things wiped off of their record. Court systems are that's
the work, bro.
That's the part that's the work. It's all about what deals can we make. We know you murdered those people, but we're after.
But what good did you do in your life before?
Well, no, we're after the guy that murdered 12 people last week, and we think that you could help us roll over on him, so we'll give you a good deal if you can help us. It's all about that. So, anyways, but that's the idiot crime of the week. We got time for one more, Josh. Why don't you pull one of yours up? I'm done.
Let's see here. Oh, you're done?
We talked about Alice. It was going to make Alice was going to be able to fly for 1 hour. And
computers are perfect.
I didn't say they were perfect.
Humans will most likely be the one to crash that plane.
I'm going to be honest with you. Human error plays a big part in things, and I'm pro-human, but let's be honest.
Oh, that's good.
I'm pro-human, but calculators don't fuck up math equations. The humans putting the numbers in do most of the times. You know what I mean?
Said, well, goddamn, there's a letter. I'm fucked. Or is that just me?
Where's there an A at on this calculator?
Damn.
But you know what I mean. It's like computers just know numbers. They know ones and twos, ones and zeros. For binary.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't I've battled with computers this week.
Oh, I know.
I didn't do anything wrong at all. And it's like, Well, I'll just say this.
I'll say this too.
I had never logged into this said computer before.
Right.
I log all my information in. Everything's running fine. I go to a program that's exclusive to my company.
What
on
would
this
that be
computer.
called?
I can't tell you. That's trade secrets. I might get fired. I can't do that. But
Well, describe it to me. I'll tell.
it starts with a P.
No, I'm joking.
It does start with a P. And fucking
Pushy.
no,
Is it pushy?
no, it's parts, and I can't tell you the rest. But either way, I go to this program,
Parts database.
and this motherfucker, like, it just starts flicking black. Boom, 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 boom. It's like it overloaded the system or something. It was done. And I just couldn't log into that program. And I talked to somebody else, and they said that the tech guy that we have with us said, like, oh, yeah, that shit's fucked. You're going to have to use this other program. It's another one. I got to call IT and get that fixed. It was something. What I'm saying is a lot of times it's like nothing that I'm doing. It's just the programs aren't jihawing in one way or another.
Yeah.
And somebody, a actual person, has to fix it. And I just don't think if Alice, the self-flying plane, is not jihawing with its program, I'm not going to pray that a motherfucker on the ground is going to fix it while I'm up there.
Huh.
I'm sorry.
I don't think that's the way it's going to work anyways.
Well, I hope not. It'd be terrifying.
But
I'm going to tell you
Okay.
another thing that doesn't work, or it could work. I mean, he got in the news. Man, this is the tagline. Man gets wasted, legally changes his name to Celine Dion.
That's the power of love. She can't say love right.
So
I've always noticed that.
a Celine Dion superfan in the UK got drunk and legally changed his name to hers.
That's where I have a problem with this story. Changing your name is not that easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes.
There might be a website that makes it super
No,
easy.
you have to go to court. You have to make it legal. It's not like a 5-second process. You have to fill out papers.
Well, this isn't.
And they're probably not
in
going to let you do
America.
it if you're drunk.
This is in America. This is in the UK.
I get that, but I'm sure there's a law, legal precedent
sure?
that you could probably just say, okay, that's not right.
I don't know, man. They let underage people drink over there. They let a lot of people do different things over
Well,
there.
underage for us, underage for them. Is,
Okay, well, laws to us and laws to them.
Right.
I think you just proved the
All
point.
right. Good point. Go.
And
Finish your bullshit.
he changed his name to Celine Dion, then promptly forgot about it.
Huh.
But it's all coming back to him now.
Oh, fuck. Hell.
Get it. The 30-year-old Celine Dion, Thomas Dodd, in his former years, told the Post, the New York Post, that he came up with the idea while boozing it up and watching a TV concert that the 52-year-old Canadian crooner, is she a crooner? I thought that
She's
was like
a good singer. That was the last concert we went to pre-COVID.
Oh my God.
Because I bought my wife tickets and for like a year and a half in advance because she loved Celine Dion, and we went and it was a fun time. We met those English guys and joked around with them, and there was all this fun stuff. It was in Memphis, and then like
she came to Memphis.
a month and a half later, she played at the FedEx Forum.
I bet she did.
Where it's a big stadium.
I know, but damn, people like her don't think you just go to Nashville.
Well, Memphis and Nashville are both music towns.
I
you
know,
just,
man.
You just
but
look at Memphis differently because
Billie
we're so
Eilish
close.
ain't going to Memphis.
Billie
She
Eilish.
going to Nashville.
That's where a lot of acts
Justin
come.
Bieber ain't going to Memphis.
I
He
bet
going
you
to
does.
Nashville.
I bet you they go to both because they're big markets.
I don't know, man. Billie Eilish.
But anyways, yeah, that was the last one we went to, and then like 3 months later, the pandemic hit. So, anyways,
He
go ahead.
closed it out in style.
Yeah, Power of Love.
He was watching the concert from the 52-year-old Canadian crooner on Christmas Eve because he loves her, and he says she is my go-to person when I listen, whenever I'm needing cheering up. And he said that he spent much of the pandemic watching concerts while at home, including one by Dion over the holiday that was accompanied by a magnum of champagne given to. What is a magnum of champagne? Is that like a rich person code for bottle? Or like a,
I think in England that's a type of measurement, like a.
You got your Magnum. Must be a big one, huh? Wonder if they do it like over here, where it's the big one. But either way, El Grande of champagne given to him by a friend. That'll probably explain a lot! Exclamation, he said. And while he was enjoying the show, he plunked down 89 pounds.
That's not like his belly on the bar. That's their money system.
Oh, they got pounds over there, huh?
Yeah, instead of dollars. And quid.
That's what a quid. And it was about $122 American, and officially took her name via online application. However, the details got a bit fuzzy after that. I honestly, hand on heart, do not remember doing it. He said, I remember watching the concert, and I remember getting rather tipsy. Days later, he came home from work as a hospitality manager at a Staffordshire, England, to find an envelope with a document waiting for him inside. And it says, goddamn, I clicked too far.
Computers! It's fucking computers' fault!
Ha 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 ha.
Human error.
Sleight of hand. And it's so...
hand of dick.
He said, I wasn't aware I had done it until I found the envelope in my post, he explained. Initially, I had to sit down and I couldn't believe it. So then I checked my bank I checked my bank, which confirmed it all. And why stop there? Once it sunk in, I signed it straight away as I bloody love her.
Does this story pick up?
No, I think it's just like a story that they attached to.
I feel like it's...
he got drunk and he changed his name to a woman.
I feel like me or you could have told this story in like 600 less words. We could have been like...
probably gets paid by the word.
Probably. Like, we could have looked at this and been like, listen what this motherfucker did. He got drunk, right? And he was listening to Celine Dion. Changed his name to Celine Dion online.
Well, goddamn, we need to open up a newsletter. You got it all figured out.
I mean, did we miss any facts?
He shared images of his change of name deed on Twitter. Yes, he did update his social media name to reflect side-splitting switch, which includes his old signature plus a new one in the box marked Mr. Celine Dion. Now, you got to think. Like, the possibilities for this. He looks like a Celine, doesn't he? The possibilities of this are endless.
What does that mean?
Like, he looks like he got a lot of nerve. But there's nothing that she can do to stop him now. You know, like, he's going to make money off of the notion that...
Like they're going to hire him for birthday parties and be pissed off.
It's just like if you were to say, I'm Mr. Taylor Swift. You're going to get a lot of mistake traffic.
Although my name would sound more guyish than Celine Dion.
Taylor
Swift.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know who Taylor Swift is.
Yeah.
You're a Swiftie.
There has to be a guy named Taylor Swift out there.
Oh, definitely. And he gets hell, I'm sure. But I guarantee you.
And he's probably like, why you got to be so mean, guys?
He gets a lot of mistake traffic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that could lead to...
Think how many girls out there want to fuck Taylor Swift? I mean, that might be... that's a real thing.
Very true.
That's a real thing.
But I read it, and I'm just like, this sounds like something we would do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm going to change my name to Hulk Hogan. I mean, maybe not now. But
you're going to change your name to... I never thought that was a cool name to, like, change my name to.
Oh, dude. Like, I wanted to be He-Man back in the day. Prince Adam.
I always wanted to be Buck Naked.
Buck Nicky.
Nekkid. Naked. Mr. Naked.
Mr.
Buck
Naked.
Naked. Is
Well,
there a more manlier name than Buck?
Buck.
Yeah. I don't think there is, and it's dying out. It's kind of a cool
I don't know,
name.
like fucking Merle.
I still think Buck is like
Buck.
the
That's
most
your Buck.
Yeah, you say Buck, and you almost have to take a dip of chew.
Right.
You
Take
know
a
what I mean?
swig of something
Yeah.
while you're doing it.
That's
Buck.
Buck.
That's your Buck out there in the truck.
Yeah.
He going to work on something.
Imagine if your name was Buck, you drove a truck, and you kept a bed in the a mattress in the bed. You could have a Buck truck fuck.
That's your Buck. He don't give a fuck.
It's just your luck. You're about to get a Buck truck fuck. And he says that as he's putting the duct tape. Why does it always got to go there? Why does it always have to go back to just forceful dark shit?
You tell me. I was just trying to be funny with a man named Celine Dion.
It's gonna suck, but that's your luck. You're about to get a Buck truck fuck.
Buck truck fuck.
Now that I think about it, there's banjo music playing while that's going. Get him, Buck! Get him!
Hold his legs! No, it'd be fucking... Hold his legs!
Yeah. No. Get him, Buck! Oh, don't scream. That just spurs him on.
He got him hemmed up.
Hemmed up. Oh, jeez.
That's bad news. Ain't nobody ever been hemmed up. It was a good thing.
Oh, man. He was hemmed up worse than my pants when I was in 5th grade. Why's he got to wear a 38? 38, 25, 24. 38, 24. Wider than I am tall. Oh, man. Oh, well, any more about this story about Celine Dion?
Good, man.
I feel like it went on for a while. They sometimes, like you said, I think they do get paid by the word.
It strikes to the heart. I'm reading on here. However, Jesus. One person...
I was kidding.
However, one person who was initially not as amused by the name change was his mom.
Oh.
No shit.
Yeah.
What would your mom do if you changed your name to Buckney? What would she do? Even though it's not a woman's name.
Yeah.
It's still in that ballpark.
I don't know if I'd ever tell her if I did it. I think it's just the disappointment.
Richard Lee, I've been sending Christmas cards. I get them
sent. It's Buck Lee naked, Mom.
Buck Lee. Oh, good.
Buck Lee. I always hated my middle name. We keep
getting them sent back to the house. I don't know why. They must not know where you live. Do you not have a mailbox? No, change my name.
I always hated my middle name.
My full name is Buckfield Lee Naked. Call me Buck for short.
Oh, me.
Buckfield.
I always hated my middle name being Lee because it made it sound like it was haphazardly or, I
always took it like Bruce Lee.
Well, I always took it. Oh, your name's Lee too, but it makes my first name an adverb.
Dick Lee.
We're gonna do it Richard Lee. What's Richard Lee? I did hear a joke today. There was this woman, and she told this guy, she's like, "Hey, my name's Patricia, but you can call me Pat." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, my name's Roger, but everybody calls me Dick." And she's like, "Huh? How do you get Dick from Roger?" And he said, "Well, you start by being really nice to me." And that's been the dirty.
We'll move from there.
That's been the dirty joke for the day. There you go. We did plug the shirts, right? I haven't even been drinking. I've been sober and dry for a week.
Well, good for you.
And
doing the Lord's work.
I can't remember if we did if we did the shirts.
Ain't it
we
funny
did the shirts.
how you try to get away from stupid, but you act stupid? That's usually how it goes. I'm more together the other way.
You think? There was a few times you were pretty far apart. You were pretty far from.
Oh no, that's
okay.
when I had outer body experiences. Those are different.
There was nothing in your body.
Oh, it all released.
Except for Jack.
It all released.
Well, Josh, if they want to follow us on social media or give us a call or an email that we haven't checked in months, how would they do that?
Well, now you'll go to bucknaked@gmail.com. That's 2 K's and an ID. If you want to get with us on the show account, we are at P3 Radio, the #1 on Twitter. And if you want to get with us on Facebook, put in that search bar Pop Poncho, Poncho, you'll see our photo. And if you want to get with us the old school way, our telephone number is 731-300-6675.
Well, that's going to do it for us. For Josh Barley, this is Richard Mulligan saying thanks for listening and good night.